Like vets, and with the win over the Ravens, the Cowboys improved to an NFL best 9-1 as the Cowboys keep winning. The rest of the teams in the NFC East are doing their best to keep pace. The Giants remain 2 games back with a win over the Bears and the Redskins. Over the Bears. The Redskins remain 2.5 games back with a win over the Packers, while the Eagles drop 4 games back after losing to the Seahawks. Ryan Clark still here with us, but Max, I want to start with you. Which team in the NFC East has the best chance to beat the Cowboys in the division?
And you know what I'm going to say, and it's true. The New York Football Giants actually is the answer. It's the answer. Now, look, the Giants are a fairly typical NFL team. They're about as good usually as their opponent week in and week out, and they've gotten a little lucky. Most teams in the NFL with winning records are fairly typical teams that have gotten a little lucky. There are very few actually good teams and actually bad teams. The Cleveland Browns are actually bad. The San Francisco 49ers are actually bad. The Patriots and the Cowboys are actually good. Most other teams fall somewhere in the middle. But in the NFL, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So I'm acknowledging the Cowboys are better than the Giants right now anyway, and they look fundamentally like they'll also be a better team as time goes forward. However, Giants beat them at Dallas. And they have 2 more games. Each team has 2 more games, and in Week 13, the Giants get the Cowboys at Giants Stadium, at MetLife. The question is what happens in the intervening weeks, because if the Giants can pick up a single game on the Cowboys before then and then beat them at home where they've already beaten them on the road, that's 2-0 against them. They'll have the same record, and that puts the Giants in the catbird seat in terms of winning the division. So then you look at the schedules, acknowledging that the Cowboys are the better team. Still, look at the schedules. Here are the 4 teams they play. Washington, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. What's the weak link? Cleveland. Now Dallas has to go to Washington, gets Washington at home, but that's a divisional rivalry game against a hot team. And then they have to go on the road against Minnesota, has a tremendous home field advantage in Minnesota against an excellent defense. The Giants go to Cleveland, and then they go to Pittsburgh, who's not an unbeatable team. So actually, the Giants have the much softer schedule because they get to play the Browns. And if they can pick up that 1 game and beat Dallas at home, they'll win the division. I'm not saying that any team's going to win the division other than the Cowboys. I'm saying the Giants are in the best position to do it. All they got to get is a little lucky.
Shout out to Landon Collins.
Wait, first of all, you know who his trainer is, right?
No.
Me.
You're his trainer?
Good job.
Brother,
another one.
You know what I'm saying? You know
another
what I'm
one. Say
saying?
it again.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah, I trained him this offseason.
Oh,
good job.
Give you props. He's balling.
Can you train the rest of the secondary?
So clutch. Yes, Stephen A.
I'm sorry, Stephen A.
This bromance is very touching. Just want to say
It is cute.
Well, I had to watch you and McNabb.
it won't help you
Trying to run the tag team.
because we brought up AI and he mentioned Andre Iguodala. That's a different subject for another day. Even though I got love for Iguodala. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. He can play. He's just not that dude.
And he went to
He's
the
not
bench and
that
they won a
dude.
championship.
Oh, just stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. Almost getting your basketball card stripped. Just stop it. Here's the deal. The Washington Redskins are the team that I believe has the best chance. Scheduling-wise, obviously, it's a bit tougher than the Giants. I get that. Here's what I'm thinking about. Dallas is always playing at an advantage. That wasn't the case yesterday because Baltimore's #1 ranked defense came in the house and made it tough for them in the early going, and Dallas showed up in the second half, particularly Dak Prescott, who was 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter. We get all of that. For me, as I watch the Redskins, and I'm looking at a Kirk Cousins who's already passed for over 3,000 yards, who's got 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I'm looking at him targeting. We thought about Garcon. We thought about Deshaun Jackson. We didn't think much about Crowder coming into the season. We know Jordan Reed is a stud when he wanted to be, even though Vernon Davis wasn't there last night. This is a dude that stepped up in a reserve role for Jordan Reed, showed up. Redskins have the #3 ranked passing attack, and this kid, Robert Kelly, filled in nice, ran for 137 yards yesterday. Matt Jones could play, so we look at it, even though he didn't play last night, we look at these guys. And I'm saying from an offensive standpoint, they're potent enough. When I look at the Giants, they make things a bit too interesting for me. You're going up against Jay Cutler. Yeah, the interception to end the game. No surprise there. Thank you, Jay Cutler, always making me the prophet. You understand? Because he stinks. He has no business being a starting quarterback for anybody. And it is what it is, okay? So what?
6 QB hits. Defense come along.
Jay Cutler makes you want him to get sacked if you're an offensive lineman trying to protect him because he does nothing to inspire you. Okay, it's his fault. So what I'm saying to you is that still the Giants made it too interesting. I look at the Redskins, And even though I got question marks about them, you were bloviating. You were talking. You did say we the kings of the NFC East. This is our division, all right? You did do that. So I expect and anticipate that the Redskins are going to live up to it. I think their offense is high-powered enough. I think their quarterback in Kirk Cousins has proven he's capable of being efficient enough. And I think that they will pose the biggest threat to the Cowboys in this division.
Guys, this is what happens when I get to come on every Monday.
What?
I remember being laughed at a couple of weeks ago when the Redskins played in London, and I was talking about the offense and all the weapons they had and the way Kirk was throwing the ball. And Stephen A., he almost made me feel like I shouldn't even be on TV. Like, I had to go back and start watching film and say,
I can make you feel that way again if you need me to.
I started saying, maybe I'm wrong. Did he just repeat all the stuff I said on that show?
Sort of.
Wow. And you're
He just
still
got
wrong.
the ubiquitous on
Oh, how do you
you're
get?
still
How do you
wrong.
still get? How does that happen?
Because it's a different question. The question is, who can challenge the Dallas Cowboys to win the East?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm glad you said that. Because it's a different question.
But you still just repeated everything I said,
Because of the question that was posed.
that time.
Because of the question I posed.
So it wasn't true.
No.
What I said, but it's true now.
No, because what you said 2 weeks ago was about
true.
the Redskins in the division lead. And I said to you, oh, yes.
That wasn't
yes.
the
But
question.
that's okay. Oh, trust me.
That wasn't the question.
I'm an expert.
It was.
I wanna hear
What
your
do we
answer.
think of the Redskins now? What should America think about the
Keep going,
Redskins?
make your point.
Okay,
I'm
back to
gonna come
what I
back
was
to you in a
saying.
second.
We're gonna talk
You
about
won't
that
get
later.
over
We're gonna
TV
talk
when I
about
get
that
over
later.
it. Go ahead.
We're gonna talk about
You
that
won't
later.
get over it. You won't get away with
So
it.
here's the thing. The Washington Redskins are exciting. I love their offense. I love the pieces they have. The New York Giants have just as many pieces, maybe a little weaker at the tight end positions, but when you talk about the guys that Eli has to throw to, they're all over. I like the Giants defense a little bit better than the Washington Redskins defense. Obviously, Chris Baker has played out of his mind this year, but he's the only guy up front that has really been playing good ball for the Washington Redskins. And they can score when playing the Dallas Cowboys, but we all know it's not about that. It's stopping Ezekiel Elliott. It's trying to win time of possession. And when you're a pass-happy offense, you have to be able to stop people. Washington can't do that. The Giants have shown the propensity for the big play defensively. It's not necessarily a dominant shutdown defense, but it's a defense that has shown that they're opportunistic. If you make a mistake against them, they will make you pay. They've now found a way to get a rush on the quarterback. And this is in no way, and I think all three of us are saying this is in no way saying these teams will win the NFC East.
Correct.
We all believe the Dallas Cowboys are the class of it. But if you look at the schedule, if you look at opportunity, if you look at the team that gets the Dallas Cowboys in a place they want to play them, the New York Football Giants, as you say, Max, have the best chance to come along and dethrone them to win the NFC East.
And they've already beat them.
I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because, A, you got to be able to run the football to do that to the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm not sure the Giants could do that, even though Rashad Jennings has played relatively decently. I'm just not sold on that element of the New York Giants. That's number one. Number two, I think that when you are as explosive as the Redskins are on the offensive side of the ball in terms of their passing attack, that could literally cause some problems, because what happens is that Dallas's massive running game, offensive line, et cetera, sort of glosses over the fact that their defense can still be suspect. Okay, so if there's ever an offense that could expose them, it's the Redskins. To get back to your point from weeks ago, since you wanted to bring that up, let's keep in mind that what I was really reacting to wasn't you. It was Chris Baker and the Washington Redskins going off about how they were the kings of the division. Then I called them out on it. Then I go on a radio show on national, in D.C., and my man Doc Walkers, who's my brother, I love that man. Him and Brian Mitchell, who I'm cool with, but got a bit sensitive that day, but he's good people. They came to the defense of the Redskins. So I was reacting off of all of that stuff. Then you tried to piggyback on top of all of that to protect your brethren. And I said, excuse me, show me what you got. Because I believe in the Redskins' talent, but you got to do it. And your target shouldn't be the division. It should be something greater with the talent that you have. That is my argument.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Just quickly about the Giants and the
right.
Cowboys, why the Giants may have the best chance. You're right about the Giants' running game, although Jennings being healthy has really helped it. The Cowboys are great against the run, by the way, defensively. They're really good against the run. What it's going to come down to for the Giants, they're going to have to get a little lucky in terms of the turnovers. But the way Landon Collins has been playing and Janoris Jenkins just taking the kind of risks that he does, if the Giants can wind up +2 on the turnover differential because of a couple plays in the secondary, because they get just enough pressure with the front four nowadays, they can win that game against Dallas.
This side of the table's also.
Well, I mean, we all know, too, MetLife, late in the year, it's a tough place to throw the football. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys can run, but it's like you said, if you can be opportunistic, make a couple of plays, and if Eli can avoid the late turnover.
Well, let's not get hysterical.
But that's what we've seen this team do differently from last year.
All right, we got to leave it there. Coming up next, are the 8-2 Patriots overrated? Someone thinks so, and you'll hear from him after the break. Good job with Landon Collins, by the way. Plus, Kirk Cousins is on fire, and after last night's win, had a strong message for his GM.
How do you like me now? How do you like me now?